I made this video where I talked about Ryan Wood and gave my hot takes, and then I watched the Rookie on the Rise series, which showed everything that happened with Ryan Wood in the season, apart from stuff with Albert Park. So now I'm informed. What do I think about Ryan Wood? Ryan Wood is really fast. If nothing goes wrong, he's in the 10. He's close to Chaz. He was pretty much close to Chaz all year, as long as nothing went wrong. He made some errors in shootouts, didn't get qualifying lap right, didn't know how to look after his tyres in the high deg races. But then there were other issues like how hard the racing is at Townsville. The back of the car was punched in so hard that he just had so much drag going down the straights. There's a lot of potential for Ryan Wood to have a very successful 2025 season. So I've completely changed my tune about him. I'll go through all the mistakes that got made. So obviously he had the double DNF at Bathurst. None of that was his fault. It's just what happens when you qualify in the mid-pack. He was doing his lap under a yellow, so that lap didn't count. Not sure what happened in the second qualifying. He qualified closer. He was 11th, so not quite a fast enough lap. Yeah, and we don't know what happened at Albert Park. I'd have to actually do some proper research to find out what happened, because probably a bit of hard racing and maybe he lost out on some of those. I saw a photo where he's off in the dirt. Taupo had a great race 1. Race 2, alternate strategy with 3 stops. He started 10th after a mistake in the shootout, so it could have been better. But Darwin, he had a big lock up and it put their strategy into a difficult position. Race 2, he got spun by Matt Payne. They didn't really have the pace for the 10 at Darwin. Even Chaz Moster was struggling. Townsville, like I said earlier, the rear got punched out like a parachute. SMP qualified 14th. He said he just didn't get his lap together, and he was caught up in some battles. Maybe they didn't get the strategy quite right. Race 2, struggled with tyre wear and had the big off with David Reynolds after a big battle. At Tassie, race 1, they had an early stop, but they didn't have good enough race pace to make up for it, and they finished 11th still, so it was a pretty good run. Sandown made a mistake in the shootout, unsafe pit release, fuel dramas, and a slow pit stop in the race. That pretty much screwed him over, but he still finished 15th, so he had decent pace. Bathurst, he wasn't feeling very well, and then he slapped the tyre bundle coming into the pits. Had a lock up at turn 1. Gold Coast, he was on a lap when the red flag came out for qualifying for race 1, and then in the race made a mistake and went into the tyres, and then got a penalty for too many curb hops at turn 10. Got a curb strike in the shootout for race 2. Got put in the fence in the race. He didn't do it by himself. Adelaide didn't put a representative lap down in qualifying when it was red flagged. In race 2, got turned around. You can see there's a lot of potential. If that stuff didn't happen, Ryan Wood would have been well in the battle for the top 10, and he probably would have finished top 10 in the championship. If we see that happen in 2025, that'd be really good.